Mic check 1 2, it's the Y2K collector, and even though I don't actively collect for the Switch anymore, there are a few games that I still buy here and there. And so I decided to put together a 2024 list of 11 must-have games for the Nintendo Switch. And this is going to range from games that have released as early as or as late as this year and going all the way back to 2019 and probably even before that. So I think that for anyone who has a Switch, if you just got a Switch, these 11 games are games that you definitely want to check out. The first one is going to be Fist of the North Star Fitness Boxing. This is a game that I got at the beginning of this year, and I used it to actually help me shed about 20 pounds. I gained I gained a good chunk of that back, but I am back on the fitness track, and so this is going to be a game that helps me to get back on track. And so I think for anyone who's just a huge fan of beat 'em ups, I'm a huge beat 'em up fan, and I grew up on Fist of the North Star. I think that this is one that you'll definitely want to check out. It's got a cool little plan that you can work with, and you're able to pace yourself, and you will definitely sweat and burn calories. So this is definitely one I recommend. Okay, the next game here is going to be River City Girls. So River City Girls, I've talked about this a ton. I think if you are a fan of the beat 'em up genre, you have to have this game in your Switch collection. This game embodies so much of everything I like from almost every other beat 'em up that I've played. And it takes, beat 'em ups to a whole new level in the fact that it's like the first open world style beat 'em up. It's like an open world 2D beat 'em up game where it's non-linear. You can backtrack, you can take different alleyways throughout the city, you can go into different stores and purchase different items. There's just so much detail put into this game. I love it. I love the move list. You can learn new combos, new moves, new attacks. And you're able to level up the characters. So it has like these RPG elements to it as well. And just a very good story on top of all of that. I think the cutscenes in this game are amazing. It's just a lot of fun, a lot of fun. So River City Girls is definitely another one that I recommend. If you're a fan of beat 'em ups, you gotta have this one in your collection. Okay, the next game, Dust and Elysian Tale. Now this is for my hack and slashers. I've talked about this game a bunch, but it's been so long since I've talked about the Switch on my channel. I figured I'd just kind of bring these games back up. And this is for anyone who maybe has just joined my channel and you've never seen any of my Switch videos. I used to do a lot of these, don't do them as much anymore, but Dust is one that I've always recommended. This is an awesome hack and slash RPG game with great moves. It's just a really good game. It's been a while since I've actually popped this one in to play it. But you have like this sword that has like its own spirit attached to it, and it chooses you, and you've got this fairy that you work with. And I just like the fact that you can combine some of like these, like you have like these mini pixie dust projectile things that can add to your combos, and just an interesting story. There's just a lot going on with this game. This isn't exclusive to the Switch. I think this came out on the 360 originally, but very cool game. Definitely recommend you check this one out, Dust and Elysian Tale. All right, next one up we have here is Astral Chain. So if you've never heard of this game, you need to pick this up. I love this because this wasn't like a limited run exclusive or anything like that. This was just a general release for the Nintendo Switch. This game has been around for quite some time, but if you're looking for a really cool, like interesting, like hack and slash RPG game, this is definitely going to be the one. Basically you play as like a futuristic cop. Your dad is the chief of police. You work with these like alien creatures that you have this type of connection to. You have like a device that allows you to connect to them. You're chained to them. You can control them. And you're basically using these aliens to fight aliens that are trying to take over. So basically, you're fighting fire with fire. And the Astral Chain is what connects you to them and allows you to control them. Very, very cool, interesting game. I got deep into this one. I went pretty far in this one, got used to the moves and the controls, and then just stopped playing it. So if I'm going to pick this up again, I'd kind of have to learn the controls all over again. But love the graphics on this one. Great cel-shaded graphics, great story. Really like this game. If you've never heard of this one, check it out. Astral Chain, very cool game. Another one, this is from our RPG lovers. All right, if you're into RPGs, then look no further. Ys 8. I think this is probably one of the easiest games to get into RPGs with. I actually saw a video not too long ago, I think with Heck and Steve. He did like a hanging with episode with My JRPG Life, and they mentioned this game being like the first game that someone should play if they've never played an RPG, and I agree with them. Because I don't like RPGs. I'm not an RPG guy. If you notice, most of my games are hack and slash, beat 'em up, shoot 'em up. I like fast-paced, short games. I don't like a lot of talking or a lot of stories. And this one is really cool though, because even though it's an RPG and it has some story elements to it, it plays like a hack and slash game. You do have to get through some of the monotonous first parts of the game where you're like on a ship and you have to find this person and talk to that person and talk to this person to talk to that person, and then it opens up the game more for you. That's the thing about RPGs I hate. But once you kind of get past that piece, it really opens up and it's a lot of fun. So you're fighting these large crabs on the beach and stuff. It's a fun one though. Check it out. I definitely recommend it. Very cool game, and that cover art is amazing. Look at that. It's just beautiful, beautiful cover art. All right, next up. Whoa. Next game I recommend here, Blasphemous. Oh my gosh. This is probably top 5 favorite game on the Nintendo Switch. And the PS4 for that matter. It's funny because I started off playing this game on the Switch, but then I really got far on the PS4. That was really like where I put in a lot of hours on this game. And I think I got hung up at the part where there's like this large giant with like a baby head in his chest, and he's asking you to bring it's like a cleft of something. I don't know. There's a lot of backtracking in this game. And I think that was where I kind of got stumped at. He was asking me to bring him back like a artifact or something, and I just didn't have it in me to keep going. So I'm gonna have to pick this one back up and keep going to eventually beat the game. But I did beat a few of the more challenging bosses. The boss battles are sick. Weapon system is sick. The skill tree is pretty dope. The backtracking can get a little monotonous, especially if you don't have, like, you need certain items to unlock certain things in the game. Like, for instance, like there's areas in each level that you need to have a certain item that unveils these like crimson like platforms that you can use to get to higher levels, that you can climb to. But without that item, those crimson like platforms don't reveal themselves. So it's just like little things like that that you kind of have to backtrack to get. I kept this is my original copy from way back when I first got it. I kept this one sealed just because I felt like this is, if there's only some Switch games that I feel like I need to keep sealed, and this was definitely one of them. Plus I have like 2 copies on the PlayStation 4. I'm a big fan of this game. Really, really like this game. I can't talk about it enough. Blasphemous. This is like a must-have. You have to have this in your Switch collection in 2024. You got to try it for sure. All right, next up we have here the mighty Goose. So as I told you before, I'm a big fan of the run and gun shooters. I love me a good shoot 'em up game. And Mighty Goose is like the shorter cartoon duck version of Metal Slug. I really like this game because of the music, and I really like it because of the pixel artwork and just how satisfying, like, it feels to kind of just run and gun your way through this game. Look at those graphics, man. Just like so beautiful. Just a very beautiful game to play. I'm a big fan of this one. It does feel like it's lacking something. Like, I feel like there's something lacking in this game when it comes to the gameplay. I'm not sure if it's because I just didn't dive into it enough, but I still really love a lot of things about this game. I love the cover art. I love the theme, the thought process behind this. The idea of this game is really sick. I recommend it. This is definitely one you should check out and have in your Switch collection in 2024. Here's another one I've talked about a ton, Fury. So this game will frustrate you. I'm gonna say that right now because this is a boss rush battle game, but it's the perfect combination of hack and slash and shoot 'em up game, because in this game you do wield a sword, you do have these dash abilities, and you do have like a projectile weapon. It's basically like a blaster that you can use. You can either use it in rapid fire or you can charge it up. And from what I remember about this game, because I think I got to like the second to last or third to last boss in this game. I don't think the main character necessarily like increases in strength or anything. This game is like pure strategy. It's pure patterns. Like you have to learn the patterns of the bosses that you fight, and you have to just learn them enough to beat the bosses. Now, the thing is that I feel like the bosses kind of adapt to you as well. So beating the bosses in this game does take a lot of anticipation and a lot of reflexes. So you gotta just be like, you gotta like really lock in to beat this game. It takes a lot of like coordination, anticipation, timing. But it's a very, very fun game, satisfying. I mean, look at it there. Um, you know, there's a lot of things you have to do. Like with some bosses, you have to use your projectile weapon. With some bosses, you have to parry. Just you know, you have to deflect attacks just at the right time to be able to parry an attack and counter attack. It's a very technical fighting hack and slash shoot 'em up game. But I'm all about that. I played this game till it frustrated me though. Seriously, this is one of those games where you'll fight a boss like 10 times in a row and lose just when you think you got him. Nope, you're out of there. So this is definitely one I recommend. And it's almost like the game can tell you're getting better too. That's the crazy part. It's like as you're getting better, it's like the game notices. It's like, oh, he's getting better. So now let's turn it up a notch. It's crazy. All right, next one up, you can already see it here. That is Blasphemous 2. What's better than Blasphemous? Another version or a second installment to the game. This just takes everything that I love about Blasphemous 1 and takes it up a notch with better weapons, better moves, better skill sets, more intricate levels, different bosses. Just a big fan of the Blasphemous series. I'm sure at some point they'll come out with a Blasphemous 3. If they do, can't wait to see what that one's about because it's a great franchise. And speaking of sequels, we got another one here, River City Girls 2. Everything I love about River City Girls, the first one, just put in a second installment. More moves, more beat 'em up action, more beautiful pixel art. Just really, really good stuff. Not going to spend too much time here because I already gushed over the first River City Girls. So River City Girls 2 is another one that you need to check out. All right, last but not least here, we've got the last one, and that is the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This has to be in your collection if you own a Switch. I know that this is a game that you can have on the Wii U, but I've played it on the Switch and it is just very engrossing. Like I feel like I need to take a vacation to play this game. Seriously, it's so in depth and so involved, and it just takes so much of your time and concentration. But this is a very satisfying game. One of the best Zelda games ever. A lot of people will argue with me. Um, for all my 90s kids out there, you'll probably argue that Link to the Past is the best Zelda game ever. But Breath of the Wild definitely gives it a strong run for its money. And that does it for me. These are my 11 Switch games that I think you need to have in your collection in 2024. Of course, this is based on my opinion. You can let me know what you think down in the comments below. It's the Y2K Collector. Hope you had an amazing Labor Day, and let's get ready for fall. I'll catch you in the next video. Take it easy.